let's look at the way our woke overlords do try to keep us safe. There was a crime committed by the Executive Director of the Victorian Division of the Property Council of Australia recently. She cracked some sort of joke about her fake tan not being dark enough to be Indigenous or Indian. Now, the context of this joke is difficult to know, and frankly, I don't think it should matter. But let's assume she wasn't inciting hatred against our Indigenous or Indian brothers and sisters. Gideon, you're one of Australia's leading advocates for free speech. Should this woman have lost her job over this harmless joke?
No, of course not. Of course not. At worst, maybe the HR department could have taken her around at the back and given her a roughing up or something. But this is it's not just the fact that good people are losing their jobs over this kind of thing, although that is the case, right? It is the fact that every incident like this sends a signal to everybody else in the organisation, and as a result, and I often say, living here in Caulfield now, I'm living in a young professional area, reasonably educated people, not tradies, not battlers, not people who we would think about being in the silent majority of this stuff. Inner city people, and they are frustrated that in their jobs in tech and in accounting and everything else, they start every meeting with a welcome to country. They get hung, drawn and quartered over jokes like this. There are all manner of gimmick games and gimmickry around pronouns and stuff like that. Eventually the emperor's clothes will fall off. Eventually people, not just, again, people on the outside, not just outside, everybody. I think everybody, or 95% of people, can see how petty and idiotic and puritanical a lot of this stuff is. There will be a pushback. But in the meantime, what can you say about sad stories like this?
Well, from freedom of speech to voice to parliament. Will the voice to parliament solve anything for the most disadvantaged people in Australia, Gideon?
No, it won't, and that's not the way it's being designed. It is I'm old enough to remember a lot of symbolic gestures that were supposed to solve everything. First it was reconciliation in the 90s, then it was the national apology in the early 2000s. Now there's the voice to parliament, the idea of a treaty, the truth-telling commission, which, the name should give it away, just an Orwellian Centre for Historical Revisionism. I'm not saying that it'll fabricate history or anything, out there like that, but I'm very, very conscious of a government truth-telling commission in any form. But again, this voice to parliament thing, it will go down in flames. I don't want to see it reach a referendum because it is inherently divisive. If it does go to a referendum, well, I think Australians will push back. I think this will be like the Brexit vote or the Trump vote. This will show the governing elite that people are not about to vote race into the Constitution 50 years after taking it out, or 60 years after taking it out. I think Australians will fundamentally reject the principle of awarding certain civil and political rights based on race.